It's Miss Tiffany from the Butler Area Public Library. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about some strategies your family can use to improve family literacy through play. Here at the Butler Area Public Library, we are a family-placed library, which means we belong to a consortium of libraries that strongly believes in the educational value of play. And this is a great way for your family to explore that play as a way to strengthen your family's literacy. The idea of playing is one that doesn't really have a set definition because play looks different for everyone. And it's one that we as adults don't really incorporate into our life as much as we could because it is still a good educational strategy for us throughout our lifetime. Play looks different at different ages of development. We're going to talk about some ways your family can incorporate play into your daily activities in a way that is meaningful and educational. When children are at their very youngest, when they are babies and toddlers, they are absorbing so much information around them. And they're also working on making an emotional connection with the other people in their life. Play is a great way to achieve both of these goals. Often we will see parents engage in something called finger plays. We do finger plays in some of my story times as well. Finger plays are usually rhymes or little stories that you tell involving moving your fingers. This helps to stimulate different senses, so it makes it a sensory activity for the child. Things like the itsy bitsy spider, pat a cake, this little piggy, all of these are finger plays that most people know. But there are lots of other ones too, and we have some resources at the library that can help you learn new finger plays. As children get a little bit older, especially children who become independent with their mobility, their play will look a little bit differently. They will begin to do sort of some clowning type of play. So that might be things like hide and seek, that might be chasing games. These are all great forms of educational play because they're learning about things like object permanence when you're talking about hide and seek. Or if you're doing a scavenger hunt, that's helping them to be able to discern the things around them visually. If they're doing things like tag or any type of running play, playing on playground equipment, or using riding toys, those are all helping with their gross and fine motor skills as well. Once children begin entering the preschool age, you will see that they will start to really begin playing with other children. Up until the age 3 or so, they might play near children, which is something we call parallel play, but they're not really engaging in play with the other child. But as they prepare for preschool, they will start doing that more and more. So if you have children of different ages in your family, you might see those children begin to play together a little bit more as we prepare for preschool. Their play will take a more imaginative turn as well. This is where we start seeing children doing things like dress up. They might begin acting out stories using puppets or dolls. We'll also create scenarios with things like trains and cars. We will also see children begin working on some STEM skills because they will begin wanting to build things. This is where blocks really come into play. Legos and Duplo blocks remain very, very popular, but wooden blocks are good as well. Another really important type of play that also kind of skirts the line with writing is coloring. This is when we see children really begin to take an interest in coloring, so they're working on their gross and fine motor skills. Depending on what types of coloring activities or worksheets they may be working on, they may start some letter or number recognition. If you're doing something like color by number, you're working on identifying your colors as well as your numbers. You're also working on following simple one-step directions. So all of this feels like so much fun, but the trick is they're also learning a ton as well. As children enter elementary school, you will see them engaging in more interactive play with their peers. You might also start to see children expressing interest in things like card games, tabletop games, role-playing games, and video games. These are play activities that have a little bit more structure, so children are learning to work within a set of rules. They're now beginning to follow more complex directions. And they're also learning to work both cooperatively or, if there are competitive goals, in a competitive way. When children are engaging in their preferred type of play, they are definitely working on their self-esteem, but they're also doing really focused literacy-based activities, such as working on vocabulary. Every play situation has its own set of vocabulary. I know when children come in and talk to me about things like Minecraft, I feel like they're talking another language because those types of activities have their own vocabulary. And if you're not familiar with the activity, then you might not be familiar with the vocabulary that the child is using. You can engage in play as a family as well as letting the child play independently or with their peers, whether it's other children in the family or having play dates with their friends. But remember, family literacy is about the literacy of the adults in the family as well. And play is something that not a lot of adults allow themselves to engage in as often as we should. It's important if you like to do things like board games or video game or role-playing games that you allow yourself time to engage in play as well because you're still learning and it still facilitates literacy. If you think about something like role-playing games, every role-playing game has its own set of rules and regulations. It has its own set of mechanics that you have to learn, and these are all literacy-based activities while you are engaging in play. If you received one of our family literacy kits, one of the things that is included is a workbook. This is just an example. All of the workbooks are a little bit different, but this is an opportunity for your family to engage in some play-based literacy activities. So you can do coloring. Again, this skirts the line with writing, so there is some guided writing activities in some of the workbooks as well. And there are opportunities for you to do things like matching games, connect the dots, which is working on number identification and sequencing, and things like color by number, which again is working on colors and number identification. If you did not receive one of our literacy kits, there are still plenty of opportunities for you to seek out play in the world around you. Play can be something like making up a story about the people that you see in the grocery store. Play could be something like tag. Play could be having your child sort different color blocks at your house. There are many ways to engage children in play activities while working on literacy skills. If you have any questions about play-based literacy or anything library related, please feel free to reach out to me here at the library. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.